The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Welcome, welcome everyone. We're so excited that you are here joining us on the Habits of Health webinar. And we just love each week when we do this webinar. And the cool thing about it is we have people joining us who are clients of the OPTAVIA program. We have people who are coaches, health professionals, or there's a lot of potentials who are just going, what is all this? I'm so excited to learn. I've heard maybe you just had somebody invite you on and you have no idea what OPTAVIA is all about. And if that's true, then you have come to the right place on the right night, because we are so excited to be launching a brand new system. And before we jump into that, just a few housekeeping. We love when you throw in the chat where you're from, or ask questions, or if you're just tapping on your phone screen, then you'll see participants. That's where the chat screen is. And we're just really excited to get going tonight. So to start us off, I want to introduce one of our guests tonight, who is an amazing man who is one of the co-founders of OPTAVIA and our medical director, Dr. Wayne Scott Andersen. Dr. A, why don't you come up and say hello and just give us a little bit preview of what we're going to see tonight.
Awesome, Amber. Well, thanks, and thanks for having me on the Habits of Health call, because the Zoom you've done a great job, along with many of our leaders that have decided that making health a priority is worth really investing time in. And that's really true for all of us. Tonight, we're going to launch the Habits of Health Transformational System as far as starting to go through the LifeBook, and we'll talk about each part of the system tonight. For those of you, it's your first time, welcome. If you've been on for a while, the good news is we have a structured place now. And I was talking to Amber and Matt and Jen just before, who you're going to meet in a minute, about how now the LifeBook, which we'll talk about in a moment here, has the ability to now track yourself over the next year. You know, I have to say right out, I wish that I could come on here, and if you want to improve your health, that there was some pill I could recommend to you. You know, as a physician, I certainly know most of the pharmaceuticals in the world, and I can tell you that in all of those pharmaceuticals, there's none that creates optimal health or well-being. It requires really a change. It requires to be awakened, and then to understand what are the essential parts. There's so much knowledge out there. It's important to know what really works, and then to basically put in a position where you can do it and do it every day, because consistency is the key, and then eventually you become that. And so what we're talking about in the Habits of Health is moving from a set of choices that you make every day, about 50% of them on an unconscious level, and then over time awaken you to the ones that will really help move you to where you want, which is the question I always ask people. If you could choose optimal health and well-being, would you make that choice? And the choice is, I'm not asking you if you think you can do it. I'm just asking if you could make that choice. So, yeah, the LifeBook is going to be, over the next several months, and Amber's taking the lead on this, is going to be the center focus of these calls. Hopefully, if you don't, Amber will talk a little bit more about that you do get your LifeBook as soon as possible, because each one of these calls each week will follow in a progression. We're going to talk about the introduction tonight, but in the next several weeks, we'll start going through the elements, and we'll have lots of great stories of people. We have some great stories tonight of people that are using the system to now transform their health, Amber.
Thanks, Dr. A. And, you know, I love that this is a full system, because to your point, I think there's a lot of people out there who are trying to diet. They're trying to do these lifestyle hacks, like, oh, drink this, you know, magical juice in the morning and you'll be healthy forever. And And when it comes down to it, what really matters are lifestyle changes, are having a community around you, having somebody who can be your guide. And that's exactly what OPTAVIA offers. And so I love this, that you have a full system, the Dr. Ray's Habits of Health book, the app, the LifeBook, where you actually take this book, you write your name in the front. This is your book. This isn't something that you share with your spouse or with a friend. This is something that you're going to want your own copy. And it's really the name of it, Transformational System. And I saw a meme on Facebook the other day, and basically it said, spoiler alert, it's going to take work. And I love that, because part of this is about the journey. It's about what we're going to put into this, who we're going to become, and not just about learning that salad is healthier than hamburgers, because most of us already know that.
Yeah. No, and that's true. We know what we need to do. We just aren't able to do it in the logistically and psychologically overwhelming world we're in and day out. And, that's really the important part here. It's really basically going back to like when you were a kid. When you went out, you didn't mind going outside in whatever sport, or played football, or hung out, or went for walks, or when you were with your friends, you're at the pool in the summertime. You'd stay at it all day, and you never even think that it was work. It was never even physical energy. It was just pure fun. And that's what we want to do. We want to take you back to that time. And so, as you write your story, and we'll talk a little bit about that tonight, and that'll be your topic next week. But when you write your story, you'll find that some of the parts of your story work well, but probably when you do that assessment, the well-being evaluation, and take the online assessment in the habitshealth.com, which is the other piece we'll mention tonight, you'll basically find that maybe your story isn't giving you quite the results you really want, and you can improve those areas. And that's what it's about. It starts off, and I just have to read this to you because I just read it to myself getting ready, and it's so important. One of the biggest and most powerful realizations we can ever have is to know that our life path is not fixed. The way you think, the way you act, the people you spend your time with, and even the world you live in can all be changed. All things are possible. You have the capability over time, with specific focus, guidance, and practice, to become the dominant force in your own life. And I will tell you, that's me. I wrote that, and it is profound, not because I wrote it, but because I've observed it. I've watched the people that have actually decided to do that work that you talked about, Amber. The work is critical, but the work is the most amazing thing, because that fun you had as a kid, because you were doing something that motivated you. And when you start bringing your health back and start focusing on what you want versus what we do in America and in most of the world now, focus on trying to get away from what we don't want, problem solving, that's not what we're about, and that's not what this system is about. This system is about focusing, leading from your future, which is to have better health. And if you doubt it now, it doesn't matter. I'm not asking you to believe you can do it. I'm asking you just to do it, and then you'll believe over time once you have the results. It's a very different way of looking at this.
It's so true, Dr. A. And one thing that I love about what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our listeners, our participants, our clients, our coaches on a journey for the next several months, and walking you step by step through the LifeBook, one element at a time each week on Wednesday nights. And there's no excuses. Look, if Wednesday doesn't work for you, we have a podcast channel, OPTAVIA Habits of Health. We have a YouTube channel where you can find these playbacks, where you can plug in at a time that works for you, where you can make time to write in your LifeBook. But I really want to just, Dr. A, have you kind of set a foundation for us tonight with this very first kickoff, and tell us a little bit about the macro habits, and maybe start with the jar story.
Yeah. So this is important, and I was looking for a metaphor. By the way, everything, all the icons, everything I'm going to talk about right now, as you can see, and I know some of you are on a podcast, can't see it, but you'll see all the stones. You'll see the stones, the pebbles. You'll see the small micro habits, which is the sand. And all of these things are designed to work together. It is a comprehensive system. Whether you're in the app, you're in the LifeBook, you're in the book, or you're basically on the habitshealth.com site. Everything is designed to be able to enter whatever works best for you and then allow you to extend from there. We want to make sure there are no excuses, to your point, Amber. But it is going to take work. But the work is going to be turning one page, using your app, just making sure you're eating every 3 hours, making sure you're drinking your water, starting to use Stop, Challenge, and Choose. All these things are so easy to use that you start at your pace. And what we're going to work on, and what I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight in the micro habits, is the ability to be able to do it in small enough pieces so you just don't have excuses anymore. So I wanted to, the organizing principle is the story of the teacher coming into a classroom with a mason jar. And in the mason jar, he had rocks. And we're going to say 6 rocks. The 6 rocks represent the macro habits of health. They are basically weight management, healthy eating and sleeping, healthy eating and hydration, healthy motion, healthy sleeping and energy level, healthy mind, habits of a healthy mind, and the last but not least, the habits of a healthy surrounding. And within those are the 6 key categories. The professor came in and he said, "Is the jar full?" And they all looked at him and said, "Yes." So he took out a pail of pebbles and put the pebbles in and shook them in and shook them down in it, and it filled up the jar. The pebbles are the habits of health. They are actually breaking down those macro habits into the individual habits in each category being foundational. And then he asked again, is the jar full? And the students got closer and looked at him and said, "Yeah, of course it's full." And so he took out a pail of sand and poured the sand in and shook it up. Now, the sand are the micro habits. They're the little bitty daily choices you make that change everything. They're what create the habits of health. They're what create the foundational parts of the macro habits. He then asked them once again, bottom line is it full? And they said, well, of course, there's something stacked up to the top. There's not a possible anywhere. And he took out a pitcher of water and poured and filled it up again. The point is, that's healthy hydration. That's actually, we're 55% water, and together the mason jar represents what you're going to do over the next year to make you pretty much bulletproof. It's going to create a protective surrounding for you, because the world isn't going to change overnight. Crappy Cream and Burger Queen are not going away. They're going to be around, and because they're so tempting, unless we equip you with a new way of thinking and a new way of actually becoming, then you're going to always succumb to the things that happen out there. So that's kind of what it's about. And each macro habit is important. You're not complete. You know people that may be at a normal weight, but they're not even eating healthy, or they're sleeping terrible. And maybe that's why. Whatever the reason, what we want to do is, as you can see in this slide, which talks about the 6 macro habits, we want to make sure that we address all of them. We'll do it in baby steps, but also understand this. As you work on one, there'll be things we can do in the others that are really easy to do. So for instance, just as an example in weight management, when you sleep better, you're more likely to lose weight and be healthier. So if we do something as simple as rip that TV out of your bedroom, or cool off your room to 68 degrees, or basically put down your shades with blackout shades so there's no light, we just helped you in your weight management. So there's a lot of things you're going to learn in little baby steps, but also as you start learning the new habits through the halo effect, you're going to start being in the right mode so that your brain starts absorbing it quicker and quicker, so it'll accelerate over time. And the one thing I want to mention on the LifeBook, I know that most of you probably have not journaled before. Heck, I never journaled before, but I journal now. Why? Because journaling, when you write down and you put notes down, it is the most powerful. We all know that. We've all heard it in terms of business success or individual success. People that journal do better. Why? Because you're engaging parts of your brain otherwise, and you can go back and you've documented to yourself. So what I did is, in the beginning, most of the journaling is very simple. It's one sentence. It's basically checking off some things. Because what I want you to do in micro steps or a micro habit, learn to journal. So by the time you start moving through the book, the LifeBook, and you're in momentum, you'll write more and more. So by the end of the year, you'll now be journaling as part of your health, part of your well-being, and part of your life.
I love that, Dr. A. And I think that these 6 macro habits are one of the main reasons why this system is so different than a lot of the things that you see out there. You know, sometimes here and there, I'll get questions like, how does this compare to this? Or how does this compare to that? And when it comes down to it, there's so many ways out there to try to manipulate what you're eating or how you're moving. to try to lose weight. But what this system is about is all of these habits all put together to really move you forward.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I saw as the LifeBook on audiobook. No, it's not an audiobook. It's designed to write in. You can't write. But I will tell you, I have recorded and we're waiting to process the new Dr. A's Habits of Health. I have done the audiobook on that, and we'll have that available in the future. So bottom line is, no, it's important to actually write. And every night, even if you only write one page, Amber, you know, the journey of a lifetime is one step at a time. We want everybody to look at this and say, I can do this, and I have time to do this. And boy, I'm starting to have fun, and I'm starting to see the results. It's going to take some time to see the results, but over time, with the support structure you have, being part of this community, having your own coach, we put you in great position. Remember, the Habits Health Transformational System is self-directed. It's your journey. You are responsible for it. As your guide, your coach will be there to help you, keep you on the path, to help encourage you, to give you feedback, help you really start to understand in more and more detail. But you know what? Over time, I can tell you, I can look into every single, we have almost 5,000 people on tonight. I can look in, if I could individually, and I wish I could sit down with each and every one of you, I could tell you that you can do this. It may not be easy. It may take some time. But if you stay with it, and it may not go perfect, but over time, if you spend this next 12 months and go through, work with your coach, use the feelings, use the components of the OPTAVIA system, you will become healthier and have a higher level of well-being.
I agree, Dr. A. And I think one of the main things, one of the action steps that we want people to accomplish, even just right after this call is over, is to download the app, the Dr. A's Habits of Health app. And this is available both for your Android or for your Apple in the Apple Store or a Google Play. And just search Dr. A's Habits of Health. And Dr. A, do you want to just give them just a little sneak peek to why the app is going to help them move forward and how simple it is just to begin their journey with it?
Yeah, no, it's really simple. I'm sorry for you guys that are on the podcast, but if you look at it right here, it's three things. It starts off right here. It's eating every 3 hours. It's making sure you're drinking your water, and it's stop, challenge, and choose. So we're giving you right from the very beginning 3 really basic things to do. But what's going to happen is when you open up the app for the first time, it's going to show you the 6 macro habits, and you're going to answer one question on each one of them, and it'll kind of show you where we are and show you what the journey is going to be. The most important thing about installing a new habit is consistency. So we're going to dial it down to something you can do every day. And then there's a tracking device in the app itself that will track every day that you do it. And if you don't do it one day, I'm going to come on in a little video and go, you didn't do it today, and have a little fun with you and say, you know what, you need to do it tomorrow. Because if you don't do it on the 3rd day, you have to go all the way back and start over. And on average, it takes about 66 days to install most of the micro habits that we're going to be installing. So bottom line is, it allows you to now move forward and have with you all day long, reminder when to, every 3 hours, when to eat, reminds you to drink your water, and then the stop, challenge, choose is great. So even if you're a brand new client, you're going to start learning you're not a victim. The world doesn't happen to you. You have the ability to stop when something happens, which is a perceived threat or gets you upset, and you're able to challenge why you're feeling that way and then choose an outcome that really works. So, you know, it's going to be amazing.
I love that, Dr. A. And so let's go over a little bit how to use your LifeBook. We mentioned to make sure that you write your name in that front page. We want to make sure that you partner with your coach. Now, your coach is not an expert unless Dr. A is your coach. But that's why we have Dr. A on this call. That's why he wrote these materials, so that he could be the expert. We can partner with our coach and work on it together, one element at a time. And you're going to progress at your own pace. And we hope that you will really dive into this daily, that you will take that time, even if it's as little as a couple of minutes, to go through 1 page or 2 pages, to write just a little bit, so that you're tracking your progress, you're starting to write your new story, just one element at a time.
Yeah, and you know that's so important, because what we want to do is make sure we're going at your pace. What we're about is not telling you, this is your journey. It's your LifeBook. We're here to assist you. We're here to encourage you, to sometimes, you know, maybe help instill that you can do something that you may not believe you can do. Because as I mentioned, it doesn't matter whether you believe it, it's just a matter of helping you do it. The other part is this. It says recommended amount of time for each element. You go at your own pace. We tell you how long we think it should be, but you get to go at your own pace and hopefully you'll gain momentum. You know, and I was looking in the chat and somebody says, well, I don't like the app at all. Okay, well, use the LifeBook. You know, we have 4 different modalities. Use what works for you. I can't please everybody. All I'm trying to do is give you the start. And then over time, you might start to understand that it's helpful. But we want to go, listen, the LifeBook is old school. You write in it. You can read it. It's written, so it's very simple. You can read through each element in a period of maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously, you want to spend more time over the week or ever how long it recommends and working with your coach to make sure you really understand and you're doing it and becoming it. But bottom line is, hey, if you want to get healthy, you don't have to like any of it, but you have to at least do something, right? You have to start somewhere. So what we're here for is to make it so we can grease the skids and get you into momentum, okay? Because if you don't like it, any excuse will do. Okay.
I agree, Dr. A. I heard a quote and it said, you can have success or you can have excuses, but you can't have both.
That's right. That's right.
So I would love to bring on some friends of mine, some clients of the program, Matt and Jennifer Oxford, and let's hear from you. I know you guys really love the Habits of Health system and you've been utilizing it and now excited to start utilizing the new program, but I wanted to hear your guys' story tonight and tell us a little bit about what's been going on with you, and let's give some inspiration and maybe some tips to the listeners.
Sure. Thanks, Amber. Thanks for inviting us on. We're extremely grateful to be here and share tonight. I found myself being put on type 2 diabetic medications about a year prior, and just noticed my life and my health and my overall well-being had continued to just decline as the months went on. And then as winter came and the holidays came, I found myself secluding to not wanting to leave the house. I would go to work and I'd come home and I wouldn't have the energy or the desire to see anybody. And so I had actually signed up to go and do weight loss surgery, and decided after reading some more things online and reading a local newspaper article that the clinic I was looking at was under some major complications and investigations, and it wasn't something I felt would be right for me. And so I really was just okay with staying overweight and not moving forward in my life. And then I started seeing some posts online about our awesome program and reached out to a friend of mine and decided, okay, I'm going to give it 30 days. I've tried every program out there known to man pretty much, and nothing's ever worked, but I was desperate and I had to do something because I honestly felt that I wouldn't be around in another 5 or 6 years to enjoy my life and to enjoy my marriage. And so I said, okay, I'll give it 30 days. We'll give it a shot. And that 30 days, the box showed up. And I jumped right in after a little bit of waiting and a little bit of disbelief that this would actually do something for me. And then I didn't really jump on the scale for the first month because, like I said, I was ready to send it back. It wasn't going to do something for me. So in that first month, I finally jumped on the scale at the end and was down 39 pounds. And I thought, wow, this is actually working. And why would I actually stop? And I said, okay, I'm going to give it another 30 days. And so that was kind of my one step at a time, try over and over and over again, and just keep going. And so now I am just over 6 months on plan myself. And as of this morning, I'm down 164 pounds and have energy and a vibrance and a desire to be out and be with friends and family and be active again. And so it's changed my life 180 degrees for the better. And I love the fact that my wife, Jen, has jumped on board with me now and is doing the program as well. And I want to hear a little bit from her. So
Matt was on the program for 3 months before I officially decided to sign up. I was his first client. Good job, honey. And you know, I'll be really honest, I was really skeptical. I'm a mental health clinician, and I don't believe in teaching people to be dependent on programs. I believe that we need to learn to empower ourselves. And so I really love the fact that we have the habits of health, we have the coaching, and that we have the community along with the feelings, because this is so much more than just about healthy eating, although we have learned a lot about healthy eating. But I love that we get together with other people, that they support us and they love us. We have a need to be accepted and appreciated, and that's a big part of it. And that's one of the things I found with OPTAVIA is that acceptance and appreciation. We also have a need to be mentored, and I love that we have mentors, and I know my coaches love me and I love them, and we've gained that together. I also love the habits of health, and I love the LifeBook. I see in there things that people come to therapy and pay lots of money for every day. You know, the Dr. A's stop, challenge, choose, that's real. That's exactly what a therapist would tell you to do. And so, you know, he's really nice to give you that for free. But I think we need to remember that what we're offering at OPTAVIA is a full life transformation system. And it has transformed our life and will continue to transform our life. Matt and I, we did the calculations. I think we're down together 254. It's an ongoing change.
Daily.
But more than that, we are happy, you guys. Our marriage has never been better. Our social life has never been better. I can't stop smiling. In fact, my boss at work goes, "You're like bouncing down the hall." Not only am I bouncing down the hall, you guys, which is huge, but I'm also just super happy, and it has changed our life, and we're just really grateful for the program.
Wow, thank you so much, Matt and Jen. You can tell, like, it's like glowing off of you. That this isn't just about losing some weight. This is really about a full life transformation, and it's not over yet. It's not over yet for you guys. It's not over yet for me. It's not over yet for Dr. A. We're all working on it, and we can work on it as a whole community as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and Dr. A, was there something else you wanted to add?
So I just wanted to know, I have to tell you, Matt and Jen, that I'm really excited because I believe what I've done for almost 2 decades is ask myself every day, how can I help people make true transformational, sustainable change, right? Because dieting works part-time, many types of diet, but to have people actually change and the statistics are miserable. And I have to tell you, you know, listening to you, Matt, and then Jen, you being in mental health and understand it, the system makes it easier to have sustainable change. And with that, I feel more comfortable now that your change will be sustainable, because basically you're now learning all the subsets, all the macro habits, moving, sleeping, handling stress, all the different things. I mean, it's what really changes everything. And so it's great. I feel very confident. I'm excited, Matt and Jen, to watch you. And as you said, your progression, your transformation, remember to Amber's part, it's lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And as we move through our life, basically we do need to continue to work on this every day, because that's how we're going to maintain optimal health and well-being. Reaching it and maintaining it, or not maintaining it, continue to getting better is what it's all about. And like, you know, I said many times before, 10 years ago, I couldn't go jump out of helicopters and heli ski up in British Columbia. It wasn't possible to do it. And now I can do that. So I know that basically the system works. I love looking over, Amber, behind you and seeing the old book with me in my white jacket, because I wrote that as a physician. And yeah, I know a lot, but what I do now is I've learned through observation, working with all of my coaches and my leaders, as well as all of our clients and patients, that we are now creating a system and an ability with our community, with our coach, with our feelings and the things we do together to give you the best chances of success that have ever been present on this planet. I'm absolutely confident of that.
I love that, Dr. A. And, you know, I still have the old books here, but I've got the new books even closer to me right here next on my desk, because the first books, that's what really inspired me to start coaching and helping other people. And so they'll always be near and dear to my heart, but I'm excited for this new system, this updated, upgraded, ready to take us into the next 10 years and beyond. So we're so excited. Thanks for joining us tonight for the Habits of Health webinar to really dive into your LifeBook. Join us next Wednesday at the same time, and let's start into element 1. If you haven't ordered your LifeBook yet, you're going to want to do that. Do that right now after you get off this call. And if you don't have it quite yet, maybe you've already ordered it, you're waiting for it to come, then go ahead and hop on habitsofhealth.com on the resources, and you can actually fill out the form and download the introduction and the first element as a PDF. Dr. A, you're amazing to offer that and to let people have that while they're waiting for theirs to come in the mail. And so be excited, start on this journey, let's take it together. And thanks for joining us tonight, you guys. And thanks, Matt and Jen, for sharing your stories.
Great job, Matt and Jen. Amber, thank you so much.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.